Which are the similar lost places in India, which we would like to find and to know their actual stories? The first place is the legendary island kingdom of Dwarka. Now, it is said that the city is like beautified on earth by the ocean, and that tells us that the city was a port. It's like a Indra's heavenly city and beautified by assembly of important jewels. Like each and every palace was like a jewel. It is said that Dwarka boasted around 9 lakh palaces. They were all constructed with crystal and silver and decorated with huge emeralds. And inside these palaces, there are furnishings which were made with gold and jewels. Like it was akin to about heaven on earth, like an ideal city. However, it is said that when Krishna died, the city was reclaimed back by the ocean because the city was founded by Lord Krishna. And after his passing, the city was reclaimed back by the ocean. And it is said that Arjuna himself witnessed the submergence of Dwarka. And in one day, the entire city, was submerged under the ocean. So this is a city, a legendary city of silver and gold, which existed on today somewhere on the coast of Gujarat. During 1983 to around 92, the Archaeological Survey of India carried out multiple explorations around almost every year near the modern city of Dwarka, the island which is called Ved Dwarka, which is adjoining it, and the waters of Somnath. We are trying, if we can find this city, this city might be one of the greatest archaeological finds in the history of the country. So this would be like an Indian Atlantis. So for people who don't know, like Atlantis was a massive legendary city somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. Like it was very technologically advanced and very powerful. But because of the arrogance of the people, the gods punished the city, and in just one day and night, the entire city was submerged under the ocean. People are still trying to find the city of Atlantis. This it would be like Indian Atlantis. We have always come across, many WhatsApp messages saying that we have found the city of Dwarka with its fabulous riches. Sadly, the truth is something different. There have been settlements at Dwarka. Like the first settlement was made around 15th century BC, which is around 3,500 years ago from now. That settlement was submerged or washed away. There was another settlement which was created on its place around 500 years later, which was also submerged. Now, this submergence occurred because of the erosion of the land. Now, there was another settlement which was made here, which is around 1,000 years from that time, around first century BC. That is when the first temple was built. The first temple was destroyed, and then a second temple was built on the ruins of the first. The second temple was also destroyed, and the third temple was built in 9th century. It was again destroyed by a storm, and the next temple was built, the fourth temple. Now, the present temple of Dwarkadish is the fifth temple in the series. The problem is, whatever the riches, the description of Dwarka, none of the settlements kind of match the description of Dwarka with its fabulous palaces and the gold and its jewels. Unless we kind of find such massive city and we submerge under the water with its massive palaces and fortifications, we now know that the excavations at the present city of Dwarka do not match the story given in the Bhagavad Gita of Krishna's city. Now, that has two options. That there is another fabulous city which is there to be found somewhere, on the coast of Gujarat, or this city was just like a literature invention, what we call like a figure of speech. The city did not exist in real life, but it was written by the authors of those times to give us how an ideal city should be. It would be up to the archaeologists of the present and the future to try to find the real Dwarka somewhere submerged on the coast. We come to the next part, the river Saraswati, and which is the one of the most important rivers in Hinduism, the literature of Hinduism. It is said that on the banks of the Saraswati, the first Rig Veda was written, and Sanskrit find its origins on this bank. Hence, it is the homeland of what we call the Brahmavarta, the land of the people who would, in the future, would be Indians. The Vedic scriptures, like the initial part of the Rig Veda and several of the Upanishads, have been supposed to be composed by seers and sadhus on the banks. It is not only an important river from the point of view of the origin of Hinduism, but also where the spiritual enlightenment of the people who would practice Hinduism will kind of, come into play. It is said that of all the rivers, the Saraswati alone became conscious flowing pure from the mountains of the higher plains up to the lower ocean. The Rig Veda and the succeeding books talk about all the major rivers from the Ganga, the Yamuna, what is Indus, and the Punjab, the rivers of the Punjab to Saraswati. However, only the Saraswati is given the prominence which would later be given to River Ganga in the future. The most important river in the Rig Veda is the river Saraswati. However, by the time of the Mahabharata, the Saraswati river kind of dried up into a desert. The Rig Veda is supposed to be written around 2000 years to 1500 years before the Mahabharata. So by the time of the Mahabharata, the Saraswati had lost its significance. By that time, the Yamuna and the Ganga were the two major rivers. So the question is, where was Saraswati river? So by the present time, that river had already disappeared. Now, this is a major topic for not only from the point of view of mythology, but also from the point of view of agriculture. Imagine if you are able to find a lost river somewhere in Rajasthan or Haryana. The impact it will have on agriculture and irrigation would be massive. Those areas are already facing massive droughts due to water shortages. We have to go a little back in time to the time of the Harappan civilization. So major Harappan sites were located on a seasonal river, what is today the Ghaggar Hakra river. This now why? Because it is easier to manage agriculture on a seasonal river rather than on the sea, on the banks of a perennial river like an Indus. And Indus is a very dangerous river to build your cities on because it is prone to very bad flash floods. However, because of the weakening of monsoons, this river, Ghaggar Hakra river, vanished around 1500 BC. With it, it also, with it, the Harappan civilization also was destroyed in a drought. Many modern geologists and archaeologists identify this river, the Ghaggar Hakra river, with the legendary Saraswati. Why? Because it is between the Indus and the Yamuna and the Ganga, and also this on its bank are major Harappan cities, which kind of show that this river was important for civilizations in the early and the ancient India. The problem is the way the Saraswati is mentioned in the preceding slide that you saw. The Ghaggar Hakra was never a big river. It was never a perennial river. It was a very small seasonal river. The description of the Saraswati does not match this river. And also, Rig Veda, we have the name of the other five rivers clearly mentioned. So none of these rivers correspond with the river Saraswati. So even today, we are not sure of where this river was, river Saraswati. Was it an actual river or was it just again a literature invention? So it is said that this river, the Ghaggar Hakra river, only existed in full flow around 8,000 years ago, much before how Rig Veda was written, much before even the Harappans. So this cannot be the legendary Saraswati river. The river is somewhere different. Now there is a river in Afghanistan called Haraksavati. It is said that this might be the river Saraswati. However, we are still not sure or still not certain of where the legendary river is. Even today, the Haryana government is trying to find the river. The assumption is that the river might have gone underground and is flowing under but we are still not sure.